Okay, today we are going to review for tomorrow's test the triangle congruency test. Alright, the first type of questions you're going to get is, it'll say state if the two triangles are congruent. If they are, state how you know. If you look at this first triangle, we know that this is congruent to this, okay, because of the reflexive property. They tell you the two outside ones are congruent, and this is perpendicular. If we look at it, we have a side-side angle. Okay, side-side angle is not a condition for congruency, but remember this is a right triangle. So for a right triangle, this is one of the exceptions. Okay, so this is the hypotenuse right here, and this is the leg. This is a right triangle. So because of HL, it is congruent. So we're going to say congruent. And how do you know? HL. All right. Here we have two sides, and we know that this is the same. So remember, we have side, side, side. So this is congruent because of side, side, side. Over here, we have the sides, an angle congruent. Okay. And we also know that this is congruent because they're vertical angles. So we have angle, angle, side. So that is congruent also. Okay, so it's angle, angle, side. Now, for this last one, okay, I have this and I have this. This is the same. Okay, on the top triangle, I have angle, side, side. On the bottom one, I have side, angle, side, which is not the same. So I can say this is not congruent. Okay, the two triangles may look the same, but we don't know if if it's the same. Okay, we are not for sure. So we can, all we're going to say is not congruent with the information that we have. Okay. All right. Name the congruent triangle and the congruent parts. Okay. F, G, H. Okay. You see this? This is the same as this. Okay. So we want to put them in order. F. What's the same thing as G? E. What's the same thing as H? I. So FGH is congruent to FEI. Okay, so now remember, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Alright, so angle EFI should be the same as GFH. GFH. Okay, angle G is the same thing as angle E. Angle H is the same thing as angle I in the other triangle. Okay, FG, you see has two lines here. This one has two lines. So I have EF. GH, one line, one line. Same thing as EI. FH is the same thing as FI because it has three lines. Okay, for each pair of triangles, tell, okay, are they congruent? Write the congruency statement and then give the postulate that makes them congruent. It's almost like the first part that we did, okay? All right, so if I have this right here, I have the two angles being the same. Okay, now I have a side, and because of vertical angles, this is congruent to this. So I can say that they are congruent. So I'm going to say congruent. Okay. ECD is congruent to EAB. Why? I have angle, side, angle. Okay. I have IH bisects WIS. Okay, IH bisects WIS. So that means it cuts this in half. So this side is congruent to this side. Now we know this is because of the reflexive property. This is the same. Okay, so again, I have angle, side, angle. So they are congruent. Okay, so I can say WHS is congruent to SHI. Okay, because of angle, side, angle. All right, the last one. Okay, we have right triangles here. Okay, this is the same as this. Okay, if you look at it, WX is shared by both triangles. Okay, so that's the same. So right here I have angle, side, side, which is not a reason, but because this is a right triangle, I can use hypotenuse, leg. Okay, so my reason is going to be hypotenuse, leg, and they are congruent. Okay, so I can say VWX is congruent to YXW. Okay, the next part we do is completing the proof. Okay, we're given AD is parallel to BC. So AD is parallel to BC, that is given. Okay, I use my given here. AD is congruent to CB, that's given. Now, I have one congruent statement. I need three of them, okay, unless I use HL. Okay, angle DEC is congruent to angle BEC. So let's look at that. DEC AED. I want to make this triangle congruent to CEB. Actually, this should say angle DEA is congruent to angle BEC. Okay, I wrote that wrong. Okay, so angle DEA is congruent to angle BEC because they are vertical angles. Okay, angle DAE, this one right here, is congruent to BCE. Okay, if you look at it, these two lines are parallel. So remember, when they're parallel, you need to use either corresponding angles or alternate interior angles. Here we have alternate interior angles again. So for this one right here, we say vertical angles are congruent. Oops. Let's go back to our pen. Congruent. Okay, for this one we say alternate. I don't have much room here. Interior angles, so I'm going to abbreviate. I don't want you to abbreviate. Angles are congruent. Okay, now I can say triangle AED is congruent triangle CEB because here I have angle, angle, side. Okay, angle, angle, side. Okay, this is the conclusion of part 1. I will continue later with part 2.